Hey guys, this is Mr. SNS again for Poker Strategy, and we're gonna do some c-betting and bet sizing today. I have focused myself a lot on stealing last time, but this time it's gonna be about c-betting and very extra whatever. I don't know the word. If you don't mind, I'm just gonna call because I'm getting great pot odds. I have 2 overcards and flush draw. I can just check call. I mean, he's giving me perfect odds. And yeah. So let's see what's gonna happen today. On the bottom right, I can figure a bit more out about my opponents. And on the bottom left, I can just steal with any 2. And I'm getting called by Poker NL 82. But it's small blind, and let's see what happens. Okay, we have 2 opponents. Our hand is not that strong. There's some draws out. I think it's okay to c-bet 2/3 of the pot, because I don't want to get raised by draws. There's some draws out there, and my hand still can be good. Or most probably almost always the best hand. And just let's see what happens here. Okay. This video is gonna last about 30 minutes because the homework of the 6-mix part requires it. So it's gonna be a bit longer, but if you stay with me, it would be cool to also get some feedback. But if you don't want to, it's fine. You can also just post my blog and give me some motivation or something. Because the last days were quite silent. Here on the bottom right, I just call really wide against the min raise, and I'm also gonna just call this flop. I mean, raising would make no sense at all. There's a really good card for him to bluff, but the problem is he's just c-betting 75% of the. I could still c-bet a draw, but how many draws? How many ace x does he have? I think it's okay to just fold. Though it seems to be a bit weak, but there are better spots to get his money. I'm still gonna set the sand as a review hand. Here I can potentially steal any 2. And pocket 6 is a call. And yeah. So these guys fold a lot, so I'm just gonna pound on them. I have queen 9 suited. It's a fold for me because I mean I have this guy behind me. So this is now really interesting. Let's see what he has and what he has, and if he just. It's a really large raise. Wow. Lucky you. So yeah. Okay, now we have this is probably a rack. Okay, plays 2 tables. So I would not assume he is a rag, but I can just bet really big on the flop, expecting him to, of course, give up a lot, but he can also just call really wide. The turn is a bit problematic, since I don't know what else should call here. Now he's leading, which leads me to believe either he does not have a set. You can have a king X. I can either raise and isolate myself against a flush draw, or I can just call, and maybe he's bluffing or so. I mean, if he's bluffing here, I can catch his bluffs by just calling the river, of course. He's betting half pot on the river, which leads me to believe, oh man, what could he have? Of course he could have a flush, but he could also have some like ace-6, ace-deuce or something. I mean, I have to call here. That's really, I mean, I can never ever fold here, and here I'm just gonna bet the river because it was checked down all the time. It's really interesting. Okay, a really interesting hand. I'm just gonna mark it. It's actually a good hand because I learned a lot from it, I think. Though this guy is unknown. Here, of course, I'm just gonna call for one big blind and some peanuts. You see, that's this small. It's like, oh my god, what could he have here? I mean, I can't call. I can potentially raise, and I think I'm gonna do it because I just want to get something to know about this guy. He can, okay, what can he have now? He's just calling and betting the turn big. Okay, 2BB cbet with mate hand. Probably had a mate hand, because otherwise he would have just folded ace high or something. I didn't bet the turn because it's too spewy. I'm just gonna, let's see. This guy does not fold that much in the big blind, so I'm just gonna muck. I mean, with the 4-4 hand, I could have just folded, but though it's really interesting. I mean, king 9, if it was suited, I could have just squeezed it. But I don't want to get too fancy here, because also the short stack here was involved in the hand. And if he would have shoved, I should have folded, though there were already $3 or so on the pot. And here it's interesting. I mean, I have a strong draw, so I just c-bet really big. Maybe just fold king X once in a while. And here, just gonna squeeze with king jack suited against the probably a bit weaker player. I'm just gonna do it like this. Expect him to call really wide here. And there's an empty seat here. I mean, I can do the same here, but I'm not too sure about, because these guys nowadays, they shove so light. I just don't want to play this hand. Here I could 3-bet this hand, but this guy folds too much for me, so I'm just gonna call, go from there. cbet's 63%. My hand's still good, so I'm just gonna, wow, cbet's really big. It's ace-jack, I could 3-bet against him. I think I'm just gonna do it, and yeah. And if he shoves, I mean, that's the problem. I mean, why do I 3-bet without having a plan if he shoves? I mean, if he shoves, I have to call, because otherwise the 3-bet wouldn't have made any sense. Maybe I'm just expecting to get called by worse. Yeah. So here we have another scenario. I could go. Oops! I wanted to make it 1. 3-5 suited. I want to play many hands against this guy who's not full stack, and here flop really good. And here I just have a few tens. I'm just gonna make it like a bit over half pot. And here this guy leads out. I think a good play is just to raise him up, because otherwise I would lose a ton of value. And yeah, it's pretty interesting. Now what could he have that I beat? Here of course he can have Queen X, but of course he can also have some lower pocket pairs. I'm just gonna see whether just this is really interesting now, since I mean, what worse calls me here? I really want to shove, but I'm a bit afraid of Jack 10. But does Jack 10 lead out? I just wanna I think shoving is a bit overrated, because he would not call with worse. I'm just gonna make it 4 and hope he calls with 9x. Oh, he had really a queen. What the fuck? I could have had his whole stack. But really interesting that he just leads out with overcards. King Queen against early position. I'm just gonna fold it. This guy's let's call him an aggro fish. I mean, but it's not a bad idea what he did. It wasn't a bad play, but when I raised, he should have just folded. Of course, against this queen, I could have got his whole stack, but I thought that there's not so many queens, and it went like queen 9, queen 8. He could have, and yeah, he's really interesting. He just I think it makes sense to raise, because the flop is really drawy. And he bets so small, but my hand isn't that strong. Oh, I really had a 10. Nice. And this guy did not raise one time in 33 hands. He's... what is he? This guy overcards, I'm just gonna fold. I don't think my hand is strong enough here. Push would be totally overplayed. What could he have now? Jacks, aces. Now I flopped the gut shot, but it's not enough to lead out. Okay. Okay, now I get the hit the 5 on the turn. I don't give anybody a flush draw, so I'm just gonna bet like 2/3 of the pot. Hope to get called by some ace-x flush draw. When people are so bad, and just call. Otherwise, yeah. I could have also check raised the turn. Somebody came to the nice idea to bet his flush draw against me. You have King Jack against this guy. He seems not to be that solid. No, I'm just gonna fold it. I want to play really tight here on these limits. I mean, regarding calling raises and stuff, because I think that gives me an edge over the opponents. I saw so many spear plays today. Let's see. Okay, still 13 minutes left. I could raise here since he's folding something, but I can also call and play in position with King 9. But that's the problem actually, because these guys behind me, they seem to be quite aggressive. And I know, of course, when I just call it, I never have a hand. Best hand would be probably pocket 7s or pocket 8s. Okay, and I have Queen Jack off on the top left. The 3 racks sitting behind me. This flop is really dry. This guy does not fold a lot to c-bets. I can potentially check behind, but I have no showdown value at all. He could have some ace-x, but he's not folding them neither, I guess. I can only fold 7s and worse, so I'm just gonna check back and hope to hit. And when he leads out, of course, I'm just gonna fold. Here, this guy's folding 76% in the swap, and this guy's folding 80%. I think I'm just gonna steal here. So ace queen on the bottom left. We get a call by this guy who did not fold. Okay, was only one situation. But there's some life outs against me. I probably always have the best hand. Not always, but many cases. Okay. So what was my sizing here? It was $1 and 1/6. Yeah, I think it's fine. I was gonna fold pocket deuces in early position because they don't play well enough for me. I could potentially try to raise him up. I mean, he folded around almost always now. And okay, yeah, when he calls me, its range could be strong, but I block king queen. I mean, it would be a bit spewy to see, but this flop is so great to see bet. I'm just gonna do it. Woohoo! I get a fold. And on the bottom right, I'm just gonna call, getting super great pot odds. I'm not sure about this guy, how much he really c-bets. Of course, there's no evidence, but I cannot fold my second pair here, never. Probably have to fold on the turn. Now it checks, there's no sense in betting, I'm just gonna check back. And yeah, I hit. And I hope he's gonna like, okay. When he has an ace now, I'm just gonna bet. Really big. It looks like a jack or a busted draw, but I probably would have bet my busted draw on the turn. Maybe I could have bet a bit smaller, but when he's like a fish, he's not thinking anyway, so here I have on the bottom right I have ace-7. So yeah, about 7-8 minutes left. I can steal any 2 here. And Jack 3 is in my stealing range anyways, a standard stealing range against tight opponents. And as you see, these people are so tight. When it's get folded to me, I'm just gonna steal this hand, but as he opens already, I'm just gonna fold. Now I can think about stealing, because these guys both fold a lot, so yeah. And as it doesn't change, I'm just gonna pawn on them really hard. I think this guy was just sitting out. He's open raising. Some guys behind me. I could 3-bet or just gonna call. I'm thinking we're just gonna call. And I flop an open ender. And this guy bets half pot. I mean, you can do it with ace king, ace jack. Not ace jack, but yeah, well. And I'm just gonna bet like 2/3 of the pot. His betting is so small, I'm just gonna have to call. Now he's checking the turn. If he has an ace, I'm just gonna bet. He's not calling white anyways, I think. So okay. Here I have ace queen. I'm just going to do 2/3 of the pot, and this guy's like raising c-bets too. I don't know what. And I don't expect this guy ever to fold an ace, so I'm just gonna bet big, and he folds his king anyways. He never has ace king because he would 3-bet his pre-flop. So if he has a hand, he has like some like king 10. Again, against the same opponent, this flop really sucks, so I'm just gonna check back. Now I'm hitting the 10, which I could potentially bet. Yep. What's really going on here? Okay, this guy folds so much, and I'm just gonna steal any 2 against him. I'm just gonna change the table, I think. Now he's calling 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8. Flop the gut shot. Could go and cbet. I'm just gonna do it. I think I'm just gonna check fold. And he's raising my cbet again. I don't want to play against this guy. I mean, it's not necessary. And this guy's folding with 71% on decent sample. I'm just gonna steal any 2 against him. And I'm still getting away with it, so I'm just going to continue it. Yes, sir. Okay. And here I'm just gonna, of course, I'm just gonna open this hand. I don't like this table, but there's the guy who's not full stack next to me. Okay, he's leaving, so I just can also leave the table because I don't want to have 2 mid stacks left to me. We have 3 minutes left. I hope you enjoy this already. I'm trying to explain every move I do as good as I can. And yeah. I could have opened this hand actually, but it's not that necessary. I mean, there are 2 mid stacks behind me, and they're just gonna make a lot of trouble, I think. So, and here I'm just gonna continue stealing any 2 against this guy. Gleich! I remember this guy being really aggressive against me. Okay, the table's going to be empty right now. And I'm just gonna open raise a7 against this guy. Stealing really loose lately, and if he raises me, I'm just gonna fold. And yeah, 1 minute. Let's see if it's, oh, this guy's still there. And here on this flop, it's really dry. He raises c-bets to 6% actually, or 8%. I'm just gonna, I mean, there's no need to bet big. I'm just gonna make it like this. I don't want to make it too small because he's a reg. But actually, if he does not raise that many c-bets, I could have made it a bit smaller. And yeah, I think it's okay for now, and I'm gonna end this video, and thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.